Hey everyone, this is Joe from Antilio's Woodshop, and in this video I'll show you how I made this butcher block kitchen island. The butcher block top measures 25 inches wide by 24 inches deep. Total height is just under 36 inches. Also features a leveling feet if you have uneven floors, as well as a soft close drawer. Alright, let's get started. For this project, I'm going to be using two pieces of 8/4 maple measuring 9 inches by 8 inches. This lumber is rough cut, so we need to mill them before we can use them. One slab is going to be cut into 3 even sections for the legs and the other into 4 even sections for the butcher block top. Joint one face and one edge until it's perfectly square. Then use the planer to clean up the non-jointed face. Off camera, I milled a 4/4 piece of maple that I'll be using for the aprons and the drawer front. To make the tabletop, I'll be ripping the 4 even sections we cut earlier into 3 inches. This way, during glue up, I can alternate the grain direction, making it more stable. Off camera, before glue up, I clean up the saw marks from the table saw. Here I'm using 5-minute epoxy to fill this knot that's going to be on the underside of our table. While the glue and epoxy is drying, I rip the 3 even sections of the legs into 3 inches. And the stock for the aprons to 6 inches. 3 pieces of the stock for the legs are going to be glued together, so after cutting them in half, it's going to give me 4 of 2 3/4 square legs. Using the bandsaw, I cut the stock in half and back to the joiner and planer for the final dimensions. Here I'm cutting the aprons in the drawer front to 17.5 inches. That's going to be our final dimension. Then the legs to 34 inches. And the tabletop to 24 by 25 inches. This piece is going to serve as the front apron and our drawer front. The leg's final thickness is 2 3/4 inch, which is 70 millimeters. In here, as you can see, there isn't a 35 millimeter option on the domino. So here I'm using a 5 millimeter Allen key to achieve 35 millimeters. Using 2 sets of squares, I marked all the mortise locations. The mortises on the apron are going to be cut to tight setting, and then the legs are going to be cut to the loose setting. This is going to allow for adjustment during final glue up. First, I glued the dominoes to the aprons, which, as you can remember, were cut on the tight setting. In preparation for routing, I sanded all the parts up to 180 grit. Then I installed this leveling kit for the legs. All of the parts receive a 1/4 inch round over with a few exceptions. After routing, all edges were hand sanded using 220 grit. Here I'm raising the grain on this butcher block top using water before final sanding. And while the top is drying, I went ahead and started final sanding on all the parts. For the next glue up, I'm going to start with the side aprons and 2 legs. And this right here is the reason why I cut the mortise to my legs on the loose setting. After the glue has dried, we can start on the final glue up. I'm a visual type of person, so I placed the base on the top and measured for drawers. The outside measurement of the drawer is 19¼ by 16½ by 3 inches. I use 1/2 inch plywood for the sides and a 1/4 inch plywood for the bottom. Drawer construction is going to be simple yet effective. Pocket holes, glue, screw, and dados. I installed 2 pieces of 1/2 inch plywood as a mount for my drawer slides. I use feeler gauges to properly space out the drawer front. Clamp the drawer front to the drawer and remove the whole assembly so I can screw the drawer front to the drawer. To mount the base to the butcher block top, I made 4 of these blocks. I drilled 3/8 inch holes as I'll be using quarter 20 hardware. Using CA glue, wood glue, and clamps, I installed the wooden blocks to the table base. Here I'm transferring a mark from the mounting bracket to the tabletop so I can precisely drill and tap for a quarter 20 hole. This method has been my go-to mounting option. Not only it is simple, but it is also very strong. For the finish, I'll be using food-safe mineral oil and board wax for the top and flat black paint for the base. It pains me to paint hardwood, but this turned out really amazing. Now all that's left is to assemble everything together. And that's it. I hope you enjoyed the video and learned something new. Until next time, see ya!